Hi, everybody. Welcome to Halftime. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We hope your day is going well for you. It's not only a Friday, but it's the greatest day of the year. I'm Baxter. That's Tanner over there. How are you today?
Hello, my good friend. How are you?
I'm just as fiddle as a fit. I don't know. I'm
a
fit
happy
as a fiddle.
St. Patrick's Day to you, my good sir.
Thank you, my good man. I'm very excited about the madness of March
There's
far.
plenty of madness to be had, that's for sure.
They say the Ides of March are the thing that the Irishmen love the most.
Yes.
Something like
yes.
that. I don't know.
You know,
that was quickly how fast the accents dropped there, but you know.
I half expected to hear either Oh Danny Boy or Rebecca Black's
Danny
Friday
Boy.
to open up the show today. So maybe next week. Maybe we'll close out with Oh Danny Boy.
We can sing it like we could actually sing it.
Yeah.
No,
I can't.
Friday.
And with an Irish accent.
Friday.
Got to get down on Friday.
Get ready for the weekend.
Yes,
so
that
I
is
can
right.
drink.
That is right. Speaking of drinking, it's Frothy Friday.
Frothy Friday.
There's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Oh,
but
do you have any plans for the St. Patty's Day?
I'm supposed to be working at an Irish bar.
Supposed to be.
I'm gonna go in and.
Are you actually going to work? Or are you just going to frolic
I'll be there
around?
for like an hour and a half, and then I have to go to my other job.
Lame.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be here with me all day.
I wanted to.
Well, I don't understand.
I have other jobs.
You do have other jobs?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So.
Well, if you're going to froth it up, I guess why don't you talk to me about your first flight of the Frothy
All
Friday
right.
flight?
The Frothy Friday flight. Here we go. A couple of little nuggets for you. Let me give you some tips or some fun facts for St. Patrick's Day that you may not know about.
Okay. I like learning new things.
First off, St. Patrick, not even Irish. Not even Irish.
Yeah,
fun.
I feel like that just ruins it for everybody.
I know, right?
Next thing you're going to tell me he wasn't a saint.
I know. St. Patrick wasn't Irish, and he wasn't born in Ireland. His parents were Roman citizens from modern-day England, living in modern-day England.
Roman citizens in England. Okay.
In England, so.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Also, I got one more for you.
Okay.
Today we are celebrating St. Patrick's death. St. Patrick died on March 17th.
That's usually how it goes with feast days. Fun fact, pulling out my Catholic knowledge here, you usually celebrate the feast day on the day that person died.
True.
So that makes sense that we would celebrate the man, the myth, the legend that is St. Patty's on the day that he bit the dust. He had one too many Guinness.
He was also a slave at one point.
I didn't know that.
At the age of 16, he was kidnapped by Irish raiders who took him away and sold him as a slave.
That's very sad.
Luckily, at the age of 22, he managed to escape.
What a guy. I think he and St. Valentine both were slaves back in the day.
Pretty wild. Wild.
Crazy guy.
Do you have anything flighty for today?
Flighty?
I got a couple other things, but I'll let you chime in if you have anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got something in the sense of the football world from a flight perspective.
Yes.
This is more so breaking news, so this is a bit of a flight. Jason Pierre-Paul agreeing to a new 4-year deal with awkward, sorry, everybody calm down, not the Minnesota Vikings, the New York Giants. That's the team
New York Giants.
We were talking about the
JPP.
Vikings so much the last couple of days that I'm just like, Vikings.
I was going to ask you if you were just going to stay on me the whole show.
I think it's just better that way.
Is it?
Yeah. I wasn't even me. The producers are just like, and in on camera, in on Tanner.
You're not wrong.
Stay on
You're not
Tanner
wrong.
and focus. And there we go.
Someone's freaking out up in the control room. That's okay, though.
They're just like, why is it always on Tanner?
Yes.
That's how I was freaking out.
Did you know that there are more Irish in the USA than in Ireland?
Yes.
I mean,
there's more people.
More people.
Yeah, obviously. It's like you're saying that there's more white people here than there are in Africa.
Did you know that you could save 15% or more? Never mind.
No, I didn't actually. Continue. What can I save? I like saving money.
St. Patrick's Day was a dry holiday in Ireland until 1970.
That's true. Going back to my original thing, though, Jason Pierre-Paul, 4-year contract with the Giants. That's my first bit of flight there. $17 million guaranteed a year, $54 million contract for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Stupid idea.
Stupid. Why is it stupid?
Because he's a gimp outside pass rusher that's a shell of himself.
Wow. Harsh.
Yeah, you need all 10 fingers to be successful in the National Football League.
I mean,
you do.
You do.
I'm not like, how many jokes are going to be made like, Jason Pierre-Paul just missed that sack by a finger. Like, if he just would have had, like...
Low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. Oh, my gosh.
Got it. What else?
What else?
What else about St. Patrick's Day? I've got other things that I can keep throwing at you.
Sure. Throw me
Did you know that Chicago dyes the River Kelly green?
Yeah. Fun fact. This was the first year that I did not go to Chicago to see the river get turned green.
Yeah.
Or at least celebrate St. Patty's Day.
Sure.
I went down there 7 years in a row with the same group of guys, different experience every year. totally, responsible trip. But
of course.
Fun fact: out of the 6 years that I went down there, I only saw the river turn green twice.
How's that work?
And I only saw the parade 3 times.
In fact, this is like a word problem that I've already failed. If Tanner goes to Chicago for 6 times, but he only sees the river turn. A lot of time
inside at the bars.
Oh, okay. So you just you don't get out much. Is what you're telling me.
Not for St. Patty's Day. Not in Chicago.
I can understand that. I guess you do what you got to do.
It looks like, the river itself almost looks like toxic. It looks like somebody's just dumping all the nuclear waste, and they're like, if we do it on St. Patty's Day, we can pawn it off that we're just dying the river. But in reality, we're just killing everything that lives in the river.
If there were ever a time to,
dump nuclear waste into the river? Yes.
Like, an evil villain from Superman or something being like,
it's so bright. It's weird.
It is.
It's very odd.
I think it's kind of cool, though, personally. I mean, if you can dye a river, it's kind of like the Boston Tea Party. Like, the colonials back in the day are probably like, we
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's one more.
I love it. Lay it on me.
I've never been to an O'Reilly Auto Parts, but apparently you can buy a flux capacitor there.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
It doesn't. It came up. I thought it was fun.
What does a flux capacitor look like?
Have you not seen Back to the Future?
It's been a long time.
It's the thing that holds the plutonium and makes the car go
How much
do
those go for?
I don't know. Here's a coupon.
Is it a scam, though? It's probably a scam. If I walk into an O'Reilly Parts and be like, oi, get me a flux capacitor, they'll probably be like,
I guess O'Reilly is Irish, so maybe that's why.
We're fresh out. But Back to the Future is not an Irish movie.
No.
It isn't Back to the Future.
Here's a coupon, though. O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of the flux capacitor, $20 off your next purchase of $121.
I'd like to debate that that's a fraud, and they're just trying to get people
Offer
that are
valid.
Back to the Future.
Oh, it's expired. Offer valid March 9th and 10th,
See, you missed it. See, it's not, obviously. The coupon, I feel like, comes out after the days and being like, oh, you just missed the flux capacitor deal we were running.
I'll have to wait till next year.
But will you actually, though? Will it actually work in your favor next year? I doubt it. I don't think it will. I think you're reaching. You're reaching on this one.
I probably am. Okay, let's see. Man, what else can we talk about here? I don't know how much more flight I have.
You usually don't fly very much. People are commenting like crazy on Facebook. You should probably see what these awesome people are having to say to us.
Sure, why not?
It is St. Patrick's Day, of course, so a very happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you wonderful people. Let's see. What are people saying here? Kurt says, in high school, I marched over the Green River in a parade. It was 38 degrees. Not a lot of fun. Sorry about that, Kurt. Corey says, thanks for celebrating with us instead. Aaron says, Milwaukee dyes the river brown to look like beer. I'm pretty sure that's called the Hudson River in New York, where it always looks like a dark, deep Guinness, where it's always just nasty. I don't think you can purposely dye something brown. Aren't they always brown,
I don't
basically?
know. I guess.
Aaron says the Ides of March were when Caesar was betrayed. Well,
there you have
it. Et tu, Brute, Caesar? No, that's not it. I do love a good Caesar salad. Tom says, you should tell my O'Shaughnessy twins Irish joke.
Oh, the O'Shaughnessy twins.
I guess so.
Remember when I told you my dad has one joke?
Yes.
He's got one joke.
Okay.
He's got one joke.
Does he have one job as well?
I don't know if I should say it. I'll save it.
You're going to save it for later?
I'll save it for later, so stick around. I'll say it later.
Fair enough. And then Tom also says, go Blue Jays. He's a Creighton fan.
He is a Creighton fan.
Creighton playing today.
He's also rooting for my boys in blue and
Creighton
gold.
up. So. Badgers, we won last night.
Yes.
Now we get to go get our butts hop, skipped, and jumped straight out the tournament by Nova. Looking forward to that. I've heard the line is like 20 points. It's insane. I'm sure it's not actually, but I'm sure it's not going to be the best.
Yeah.
Do you expect much from the Badgers in that against Villanova?
Marquette did it. Marquette beat Villanova and then stormed the court. It was great.
Who's got the better team, Marquette or
Marquette?
Yeah, see, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Badgers
no. You mean Marquette or Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marquette.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. It's the 3-point. When you have a 3-point shooting team, you could beat anybody.
Bronson Canning went 8 from 17 last night from the 3-point range. 24 of his 28 points came from the 3-point arc.
Yes.
So he's doing something right.
Well, he's doing something.
It's something.
Something.
Anyways. Anything else? Should we talk about the tournament? Should we bring in our correspondent?
I think we should.
All right, joining us on halftime now is the man, the myth, the legend, straight out of Bemidji. Now he's from Texas, so don't let the Texas accent fool you. He is a man, one of our college sports analysts. It is B.J. Walters, and he joins us on the program now. B.J., happy St. Patrick's Day, sir.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I do have a question, though. Jason Pierre-Paul has 9 fingers. How the heck did he sign that contract?
Is it the right or the left hand? I always forget, honestly, which is the one
good.
that has the issue there. So maybe he's figured it out to use his toes. I've seen that done before. It's like, just use your toes. Use your toes. But, BJ, we were excited to have you on the program today. You have some close ties with how the Baylor Bears are going to be playing today. Your thoughts about them, about their game today, and what we can expect as they take on Nevada? Is that who they're taking on today? New Mexico. Something with an N.
State.
Your thoughts about Baylor versus New Mexico today, sir?
You know, the biggest concern, I think, for any Baylor fan is not what's happened the last 2 years, losing to Georgia State and losing to Yale last year. I think the biggest concern is yesterday was kind of, if we're being honest, it was kind of boring in the NCAA tournament,
Agreed.
which means today is absolutely going to be crazy. On paper, Baylor should take care of this thing, but for goodness sake, they should have taken care of Georgia State. They should have taken care of Yale. It's going to be really interesting to see, especially Baylor's not playing as well as they did early in the year. They were 21, ranked number 1 in the country. And then the Big 12 did what the Big 12 does. They beat you up, and you're going to take losses. I actually subscribe to the notion that their Big 12 quarterfinal loss to Kansas State was a good thing. They needed some time off. They needed some time to just rest and get ready for this thing, because you look at that region that they're in, Villanova, Duke, I mean, they take care of it today. They're probably looking at SMU, one of the hottest teams and probably the most underappreciated team in the country. So they needed a week off. Hopefully it'll pay off for them.
What are some of the games aside from that one that you're looking the most forward to today? I know here in the state of Wisconsin, fans are going to be looking towards that Marquette game, of course, a little bit later on this evening. I know, anytime Duke takes the floor, fans are already on the edge of their seats. What about a game like a UCLA-Kent State or even a Michigan-Oklahoma State game? Do any of those draw your attention specifically to keep an eye on?
Absolutely, Michigan-Oklahoma State. This is the number 1 ranked team in the country against the number 5 ranked team in the country in offensive efficiency. If you like points, this is absolutely the game for you. And then you bring up Kent State. I feel for them. They gave up 103 points a couple weeks ago to Central Michigan. What on earth is UCLA going to do to them?
That's the scary moment right there, yeah.
It is, but I love Marquette in their game with South Carolina. I don't think it's close. I think Marquette can shoot the ball much better from the perimeter than South Carolina can. Thornwell's going to get his points. If I'm Wojo, I say, okay, let him get his 25. Don't let anyone else become a superstar on us. Marquette's the better overall team for me.
I think so, and I'm not just being biased, but I think, talking about what Baxter and I talked about yesterday and how the selection committee really plans what works best from a rating standpoint, I think the world wants to see Wojo play against Duke in
100%.
round 2. I think
100%.
Coach K wants it, Wojo wants it, the Marquette fans want it, the Duke fans want it.
Absolutely.
And if that didn't have a factor to play in, I don't know what was. But I do have a question in regards to strength of conference in the NCAA tournament. Marquette going the Big East going 3-0 yesterday with Villanova obviously winning over Mount St. Mary's, Butler beating Winthrop, and Xavier beating Maryland. So what do you think about the strength of the Big East in the NCAA tournament, and is there another conference that you think will shine harder or brighter than the Big East?
Well, make no mistake about it, I picked Butler to win yesterday, but I think they were probably the most impressive team of the entire day. For them to just manhandle a good Winthrop team that can really shoot the basketball, you can't help but be impressed in that. But the Big East doesn't get any respect, and it got 70% of its teams into the tournament this year.
Not a bad ratio.
Not bad, yeah.
Exactly. I think we're quick to forget that. You look at teams like Providence, who, let's be honest, at the beginning of the year, nobody would have thought, losing what they lost, they would be in the tournament. They get in. should have beaten USC. Absolutely should have beaten USC. And then yesterday, the performance of the Big East. Butler was very good. Of course, Villanova, you knew that was going to be a 20-point game, even when it didn't look all that pretty, because that's Villanova. They can, I believe there was 3 straight possessions where they hit a 3 in the second half to put the game away. That's what Villanova can do. It's not that challenging for them.
I was going to ask about, because I thought that this might have been the year where a 1 seed goes down, and watching the 2 games yesterday with Villanova and Gonzaga, Villanova up by 1 at the half, and Gonzaga down by 1 at the half. You
were adamant about that, too. I remember you being very adamant about that.
Yes, I really thought that was going to be a thing. And is it ever going to happen? I think we're 0-130 now.
Something like that.
Something like that. Do you think that'll ever happen, BJ?
We're extremely close to it happening. Now, it won't happen today. Kansas and North Carolina are just too good, but we're very close to it happening. When you look at the 16 seeds this year, look at their records. Texas Southern has no chance against North Carolina, and we all understand that. But they're 22-12. 16 seeds are no longer the team that goes 12-20 and somehow wins their conference tournament. Mm-hmm. That's not what a 16 seed is anymore. A 16 seed is basically, okay, we know we're giving one to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, we're giving one to the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and we'll figure it out from there. But to me, the formula for that upset is going to be an underseeded 16 against a 1 that is barely a 1. I, for one, did think that South Dakota State was underseeded. I thought Jacksonville State should have been a 16. I thought the Jackrabbits had played in a better conference, but, of course, the counter-argument to that is the reputation of the OVC strictly on the basis of what Murray State did a few years ago beating Vanderbilt, what Belmont has done since being in the tournament. So strictly based off of that, I can understand it. But that is the formula. Get a 16 seed that should not be a 16 seed, and you're good to go. I do think we'll see it. I think we're closer than a lot of us expect to seeing it.
Talking with BJ Walters here on Halftime. BJ and Tanner, actually, I'm curious to get your opinions on this. I made the argument this morning on our morning show that I feel like for the round of 64 that the teams, if the NCAA ever wanted to just kind of throw things out the window just for fun, that they should play just a 18-minute game. And just because how many times do you see at halftime where the little guy is very, very close, and then as soon as the second half gets going, then Villanova pulls away, wins by 20, that kind of thing. Well, I know it's chaotic, and of course that's not how it works.
How it works.
I understand that. I understand that, but I'm like, as a 64 seed, I feel like it would, as a 64-team tournament in the first round, I think it would make it an interesting diversity change to it overall.
Maybe they should experiment that with the NIT.
That's something I think. I mean, I know, and a lot of folks have been like, well, that's just a silly idea. Like, why would you ever want to do something like that? I'm like, because people basically live and breathe upsets, and this would actually give a chance. Because, I mean, Villanova, if that would have been the case, would have only won by 1 point yesterday if they would have stopped at halftime. How big of a story would that have been?
Well, it would certainly create more urgency right from the get-go with these favorites. That's for sure.
That's the main thing. I think that's the main point that I'm basically trying to get at, is that I feel like you can't fluff off to an extent like Villanova did in the first half, being like, well, we'll keep it close, but then we'll just bury them in the second half because we know we're the better team.
So you think that this is a way to provide the fans even more madness than they're already getting?
I think so, because I feel like there would have been a lot more upsets.
Yes,
to an extent.
I guess the tournament does need a little bit. It needs a little bit of madness, but. BJ, there wasn't much madness yesterday. Minnesota, technically an upset against Middle Tennessee, but a lot of people saw Middle Tennessee winning that game. Xavier, technically an upset against Maryland, but a lot of people saw that as well. Are we going to see any madness in today's games?
And it Rhode Island a lot in their game with Creighton, but again, a lot of people like Rhode Island in their game with Creighton. Is it really an upset? I would say this. The wrong team is favored in Greenville tonight, or no, this afternoon, rather, in Greenville tonight. someone please explain to me how Arkansas is a favorite over Seton Hall. There's no way that Arkansas is better than Seton Hall. Seton Hall's won 5 in a row.
Awkward.
Or 5 of their last 6. Lost by 3 to Villanova. They've got the best rebounder in the country.
Yes.
And they've played in a better conference all year than what Arkansas has. I'm sorry, the SEC's still bad. I don't care how many teams they got in. They're bad.
The awkward moment, BJ, when I don't
get that.
I was going to say, the awkward moment here, BJ, when I have Arkansas to win this game, mostly just from their defensive side of things. But, I mean, the 8-9 seeds, let's be honest, no matter who it is, it's always almost next to impossible to choose that winner.
It is.
So in that regards, I think that was my main thought behind why I chose Arkansas, because I'm like, well, it's going to be a fairly close game, so why not Arkansas, you know?
Real quick, I do want to get into, there was a little bit of madness yesterday. There was a little bit of madness, and Northwestern. Oh, so you there? Are you there, BJ?
Yep, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yes, I can hear you. Real quick, so
there we go.
Vanderbilt had an opportunity to win the game yesterday, and Matthew Fisher-Davis decided while the team was up by 1.
That's a great last name.
In the last minute of play.
Fisher-Davis.
He thought it would be a good idea to foul Northwestern and give them an opportunity to win their first NCAA tournament victory. I guess you can consider that madness. He had a team high, 22 points. He was 7 of 15 for shooting. What's going through Vanderbilt's minds from a team standpoint? How do they deal with that? Does he transfer?
He doesn't transfer. No, he's going to get made fun of for a couple of weeks, and then it's going to die out.
A couple weeks?
Yeah.
Oh,
couple weeks.
I don't know.
A couple weeks. I feel like he's going to get made up for a little while. Yes, it might be one of those like 30 for 30 documentaries where then he drops out of sports and is like never heard from again and be like, remember the play that ruined this guy's career. Like he made a stupid mistake. I get that. Vanderbilt had a good season overall. Like don't read into it too much. I mean, it happens all the time. Some people can't catch onside kicks to send them to the Super Bowl. It happens all the time. I mean, he's out of sports now, but that's irrelevant to the conversation.
I would say that as much as I want to make fun of this kid, I can't.
No.
I can't, because in 2004, Baylor played at Purdue, and Baylor, much like Vanderbilt, chasing the game the whole time, they hit a 3 to tie it with 2.1 seconds left and fouled on the inbounds. And Purdue won the basketball game 68-67. So as much as I want to poke fun at the kid, you know what? I better not do that. I think it's honestly one of those moments where when you're behind by 15 points with 12 minutes to go, I think it was, your mindset is so different. It is literally, we're chasing this game. Are we going to get out in front? Maybe. But we've got a lot of work to do. The flip side to that is it's not the first time Vanderbilt had the lead in the game. They had taken the lead. I think there were something like 7 lead changes in the last 2 minutes. So I'm with you on that, Baxter. It's a brain fart. I mean, that's really all it is.
And I don't think we need to read into it too much more. People on Facebook are commenting, asking if it was a conspiracy theory to allow Northwestern to finally win their first ever, tournament game, basically. I mean, there was already a lot of hype going into it, but Northwestern it's not like this was like UNC where it's like, oh my gosh, if they don't go to the Elite Eight, like the tournament will be a disaster. This is Northwestern, who was just a good story that even if they had lost by 1 point, I think they would have still been like, you know what, we're just happy we could have been here.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, because I was with somebody yesterday watching the game, and right before that, he suggested with the 1 point lead, he was rooting for Northwestern with the 1 point lead to foul Vanderbilt so that they would go to the line and they would get the ball back and have the last possession and have the chance to go up by 1 for the win, as opposed to allowing
defending.
So it is interesting, and then it ended up playing out that way. Now,
yes, not exactly the way
side.
Yeah,
but they still, despite the foul, they still had a chance to win. I saw that they had the intentional foul before the ball was even inbounded, and they ended up getting the ball back, and the ball almost went in. It was a half-court shot. But it is an interesting way to play the game, or thought process, I suppose, to
I agree.
strategy, I guess you could call it. But
very true, very true.
It didn't work out for him, though.
Unfortunately not. Well, BJ, we hope that it all works out for your Baylor Bears there a little bit later on today. We appreciate you taking the time to join us on Halftime. Where can people find you on social media to keep up to date with your sports knowledge?
They can find me on Twitter at Walters, my last name, the word voice, VOICE 89, and basically anything I tweet gets put on automatically onto Facebook. I have them linked.
Oh, perfect.
So follow me up on there, and just don't. Hopefully today we don't get any, attempts at a news dump. Indiana, did you think we were really that stupid? I mean, hey, if there's a tournament game going on, do you think anyone will notice that we're firing our basketball coach?
No. The most prestigious program in the country. Never. No, that was a smart play.
No big deal.
Good stuff, BJ. We'll talk to you soon, sir. Thanks so much.
You guys take care.
All right.
Thank you.
There goes BJ Walters, one of our college sports correspondents here on the Brew Sports Network. Yeah, anything that BJ said kind of stand out to you at all, Tanner, about the teams or the games? I mean, I don't really buy this conspiracy bit here that people are trying to sell me on Facebook. It's not happening.
I like that what BJ had to say solidifies my choices and my selections in my bracket.
Yeah,
and he's right. Seton Hall is going to crush Arkansas. There's no way that they'll stand a chance.
I agree.
The Creighton game's going to be one to watch, though.
I agree. A couple of comments on Facebook. Corey says he picked Seton Hall. Good for you, Corey. I mean, it's really a toss-up game, honestly, depending on – I don't really know if there's a right answer in this game, honestly. You got a comment here on Facebook from I don't know who this gentleman is, but he's – I don't know if you've got the comments pulled up as well, too, but I don't know if you want to address this or not.
Yes. It's interesting. He told me last night that he had the greatest question – that anybody could ask.
Okay.
And he said I wouldn't be able to answer it, and he's right. But I'll read it here. Let's see real quick. Ben says on Facebook, good morning. What was the name of the female quarterback of the Washington Redskins in 1966? And funny story, I pulled up the roster of the quarterbacks of the Washington Redskins in 1966, and I don't know.
Is there not a female quarterback on there?
I mean, unless
what are the names?
Unless her name is Bobby Mitchell or Sonny Jurgensen, maybe.
Did you Google image search these people?
Did I Google image? No.
Sonny Jurgensen? How do you G-E-R? J-A-R?
That's Tom Barrington's definitely not him. Maybe it's Bobby Mitchell.
I don't know.
That's an interesting question. I'd love for Ben to chime in on that.
No kidding.
Pretty interesting. Yeah. So, do we have any other comments on here real quick? The reign of Turber's triumph is underway. # bracket challenge.
Gotta love the bracket challenge there. Turber is doing well. We should check in on the Brew Sports bracket challenge here and see who is doing the best thus far.
Yes.
Tanner, how's your bracket doing?
My bracket's doing really well. I have only lost one game so far. And that was the Minnesota game.
There we go. The Brew Sports bracket challenge is actually ranked as considered one of the top groups in all of the ESPN bracket challenges. We are in the top 25,000.
Not bad.
It's actually not bad considering there's like oodles and oodles of millions of these. We've got a, 7-way tie currently.
Yes.
For first place. Brennan Mentz, one of our college basketball correspondents. BJ, who we just talked to, also tied for first place.
Right.
Let's see who else do I know here. Jamie.
Where's Turber at? Okay.
Turber is also tied in first place as well, too. Right. And Jamie, one of our morning hosts, Jamie Ebers, also tied in first place, among with others that I don't know who they are.
Fun stat here, fun stat that I saw today. Apparently, the ESPN, I think ESPN has the largest amount of brackets,
and millions of
that
brackets
are submitted. Only 0.82% remain perfect, and there wasn't even a madness. It wasn't even a madness kind of day. 0.82%. That's 154,283 remain perfect out of millions.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say that this will probably not be the year that somebody finishes with a perfect bracket.
Right. A couple of people chime in here on Facebook. Eric says, "Go Marquette." Robert says, "You got to do better than basically better than a 55% winning percentage to keep a job at Indiana." I would agree with that. But I mean, 9 years, he wasn't terrible.
No.
in that regards. Aaron says maybe it was Caitlyn Jenner who was the quarterback of the Washington Redskins. Kurt and Jeff both agree, and they're saying that Sonny is a guy, so it was definitely not Sonny.
Robert says got to do better than .551 to have the Indiana job. I suppose so.
Indeed.
I suppose so. I have another fun fact.
Please hit me up.
So with Northwestern's win,
right,
that would leave one school as the only team from the 6 major basketball conferences, which will be the ACC, Big East, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC.
Sure.
There's only one team out of all those conferences that have never won an NCAA tournament game.
Okay, who's that?
My Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Your Nebraska Cornhuskers,
Yes.
because you are you're a Cornhuskers fan.
I am. Yeah, my dad's a Cornhusker. My dad's from Omaha. If you're from the state of Nebraska, you root for Nebraska.
Why?
Because that's all they have.
So, why do you don't succumb to the
You gotta
your
take,
own man. Make your own decisions.
You got to take your small victories when you can get them. So,
your dad shouts you out there too.
Yes.
Saying, Huskers!
Can I tell his joke now?
Sure.
Or should I wait?
No.
I'll wait. I'll tell you what. I'll do it. We have another special edition of What's for Lunch today at the end of the show.
We do.
So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to make Reubens for lunch today.
I don't like Reubens.
I don't care.
So you can have my Reuben.
You can have your chicken noodle soup then. I don't care. But yeah. we'll make Reubens for lunch today at the end of the show, and I will tell my dad's one joke.
Your dad's one joke.
He has one joke. So rightfully so, he told me to tell his one joke.
I get that. I totally get that. Aside from this, I mean, kind of looking across the entire sports spectrum, I mean, the college basketball world is really the best place to talk about things the rest of the day. You told me that you picked Minnesota off the air, or even while you were talking to BJ's.
Yes.
I picked Minnesota. I feel like the Middle Tennessee game was the only upset that was so given.
And
because Minnesota was so poorly seeded.
They did it last year.
Middle Tennessee, yeah.
So
I know they did. They beat Michigan State.
I picked him because I picked Minnesota because I wanted to root against Middle Tennessee because I thought that would be the one upset in my dad's bracket that everybody was going to choose.
Gotcha. We do have a game currently in progress as well, by the way. Oklahoma State and Michigan are tied at 11 with 12-11 to play here in the first half. So we'll keep you updated on that game as we go along. I'm very curious. Michigan is my national champion, so if they decide to lose in the first round to Oklahoma State, my entire bracket just...
Okay. Well done.
So I would be rather sad.
Yes.
The people that have lost in my bracket so far haven't really affected anything. I've kind of safeguarded a lot of those upsets if they were even regular wins, so I should be still fine the rest of the way. But if Michigan loses any time before like the Elite Eight, I'm kind of screwed.
I don't get it. You're like shooting for the stars.
Absolutely. When have you ever known me to just be a normal, complacent, chill kind of person? That's not who I am.
I know you don't play Hearts, the game Hearts. I think we've talked about it.
I don't think we've ever talked about Hearts.
Maybe not. Have you ever played Hearts?
Occasionally, yeah.
It's what you're doing is essentially shooting the moon with nothing in your hand.
Okay.
You're like, I'm going to shoot the moon, and if I get it, I'll win, and if I don't, which I most likely will not, I will lose. See, I'm the opposite. I will play conservatively.
Fair enough.
However, I do have Marquette in my Elite Eight.
Yeah, there you go. Tom,
because I am also shooting the moon in that aspect.
Eric says, got Michigan in my Final Four. There you go, Eric. Way to... Somebody's got me. Someone's got my back.
He's a smart man, so maybe I'm just out on this. I do not believe that Marquette will make it to the Elite Eight, but if they do...
That's where I've got them as well, too.
I will be in a pretty position.
That's true. Robert says, later, guys, got to get back to work. Wish y'all could drink and talk sports. Talk sports and drink with you as well, too. Maybe I've been drinking because I can't even speak English. Appreciate it, Robert. Have fun at work. Stay out of trouble. Aaron says, I'm getting worried about my Michigan pick.
Be sure to come back and watch our What's for Lunch segment later. It's always
true.
A hoot.
Robert's
always a hoot.
Robert is one of the best at going back and watching virtually every episode of anything we do here on Brew Sports, and he always has a ton of things to say. So shout out to you, Robert, for your great comments in that regards.
Yes. Okay.
What are you umming me for?
I don't know. What else is going
on? The Oakland Raiders are trying to pull Marshawn Lynch out of retirement to come be their running back.
Okay.
Because a guy named Adrian Peterson apparently is not good enough.
Whatever.
I think it's a stupid move. Marshawn Lynch hasn't touched a football in 2 years. Why in the world do they want a guy like Marshawn Lynch? when there are clearly much better players coming through the draft and or available in free agency.
It's a deep draft.
Use your head, Oakland. You were just in the playoffs. Granted, now you got your butts kicked, but you were just in the playoffs.
You see, this is an intriguing topic because I really like the idea of Marshawn Lynch going to Oakland. He's from Oakland. I don't think he would go to any other team. He had a couple injuries in Seattle before he so-and-so retired. But he did. It was a premature retire.
He did.
So he could come back and keep playing, and I think he would still be the same. He's a bulldozer. He'd be the
What's
same
he done
Marshawn
the last
Lynch.
2 years, though?
Eat Skittles in Europe?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
He's not in football shape.
No.
Eddie Lacy's probably in better shape. Well, he's probably in better shape than
If Eddie Lacy can go to Seattle, I'm totally fine with Marshawn Lynch going to Oakland.
I think it's a stupid idea.
I wouldn't be worried about his football shape.
I think it's an absolutely stupid idea if I'm Oakland.
Okay.
You're trying to be a playoff contender and trying to pull a guy out of retirement after 2 years who probably is still not saying much and still is only here because he doesn't want to get fined. Like, it's not the right move. Draft Dalvin Cook. Go draft, Leonard Fournette. Sign Adrian Peterson. There's numerous guys. LeGarrette Blount is still floating about as well out there. Like, go sign one of those guys.
No.
Why not?
No.
Are you just saying no to Blount, or what are you saying?
I'm saying no to LeGarrette Blount.
Okay.
When you have a running back like that in New England.
Well, they shouldn't have let Latavius Murray go. Oakland.
Yes. Speaking of retirees, though, Percy Harvin retired again.
Officially, for real this time. They're like, nah. Like,
is he a
for
bust?
real, though.
Is he a bust? I mean, I feel like that's a disappointing career.
Yeah,
he had a lot.
It's very
left out on the
disappointing.
table,
He had this. Was he the migraine guy? Where he's like, oh, my migraine.
I think so. He had injury. His whole career was.
Yeah, he was with the Vikings, and then obviously he spent some time with you guys up in Buffalo as well too.
Yes, yeah,
and Seattle as well. So apparently, according to 24/7 Sports, the Packers are pursuing free agent running back LeGarrette Blount.
Oh my God.
Why?
Why?
Don't.
Please stop.
Don't
Please.
sign LeGarrette Blount if you're the Packers.
Oh my God.
Which means he now will.
I don't know what's going on there. What about Ricky Williams? Aaron says he's on my list.
Who's
High
this?
on my list.
Ricky Williams. And maybe if you need some lettuce.
Let me read this one again. Aaron on Facebook says, "What about Ricky Williams? He's high on my list." Hashtag pun intended.
Terrible.
I do love a good pun.
True.
That's essentially what our segment "What's for Lunch" is all about. Bad puns.
Bad puns. And how can we make a lettuce joke? Ricky Williams is your.
This
your
will be
lettuce.
the first day where I will not have herbs and or lettuce.
I don't feel like that's a good sandwich.
It's not
a good. If you don't have, you got to have some sort of an herbage.
I'm not putting lettuce on my Reuben. I'm not putting oregano on my Reuben either.
I guess.
No herbs.
Yeah, Eric says Marshawn's legs are refreshed. Yeah, but they're also cobwebby. He hasn't done anything for 2 years.
Yes.
He's not going to be productive.
Hashtag beast mode.
Shut him down. Stay in retirement. Give somebody else a chance.
Yeah.
Marshawn has already got a ring. He's done his time. Let somebody else get the opportunity.
He's already got the millions of dollars coming in from Skittles too.
Leave
so
beast mode alone.
Not really worried about that. I'm interested to see it though. I'd like to think that he would get into shape and put it all on the line. In Oakland.
Yeah.
He's from Oakland, so.
There's other guys that are out there. I mean, Rashad Jennings is out there.
Here's the other thing though.
Chris Johnson's out there.
Nobody wants Chris Johnson. Here's the thing though.
Justin Forsett.
Stop.
Matt Asiata.
Stop it.
Let's see. Who's the bottom of the guy? John Crockett, former Packers running back.
Fred Jackson.
Joik Bell.
No.
Trey Mason. Christian Michael.
Why this Oakland thing is intriguing to me is they might not even have a team for much longer. So maybe he just comes in for a couple years, then they move to Vegas, and he's like, I'm hanging up the cleats again.
No, why? Well, they're still going to be in Oakland. What do you mean they're not going to have a team? They still have a team. They're going to Vegas.
Leave.
Yeah, they're going to Vegas.
He's not going to move to. Oh my God, that would be bad.
Marshawn in Vegas.
Lynch in Vegas.
What would he do? He's not going to do anything.
Maybe that's what this is all about.
He's trying to get on the train now before they go. I'm not worried about it, honestly.
All right.
There's so many the recent signatures here, like Darren McFadden re-signed with the Cowboys, Lance Dunbar signed with the Rams.
Yes.
Travis Travaris signed with the Saints, Rex Burkhead with the Patriots, Lacey with the Seahawks. Like, there's still guys out there that you could go and sign. Like, go get somebody that doesn't have a LeGarrette Blount or Jamal Charles in their name. I would take Rashad Jennings in Green Bay. Yeah. I would prefer Rashad Jennings over LeGarrette Blount. Personally.
It's a deep draft for running backs.
I know it is.
It's not even a. It's not.
Ted's not going to
run first league. So I really don't. I think
the good running backs aren't going to be there by the time the Packers need to do their running back drafting because they're not going to spend a first-round draft pick on a running back.
I don't think anybody should spend a first-round draft pick on a running back.
Yeah,
it's not a running league.
Yeah.
But somehow the Bills are doing it.
Well, you've got Shady, so that's why.
Yeah.
The only man
The
that I know
Vikings had Adrian Peterson. What did they ever do? His entire career, what did they ever do?
he was only as good as the cast around him. Adrian Peterson is a great all-time runner of the game, but when you have a shoddy team around you, it was like, wait a minute, hold on to that. When you've got a shoddy team around
this is technically public broadcasting, right?
It is. And you've got a shoddy team around you, it's hard to do that. Like, you can't. Yeah. Adrian Peterson, if he wants to win a Super Bowl, needs to go to Oakland or he needs to go to Green Bay. He has no other option. Or he signs with the Patriots and just shuts everybody up.
Danny says, where will Cutler land? Will Cutler land?
Will Cutler land or when?
When, and then it's a two-part question.
When and where?
When and Will. Will Cutler
where
land?
And
if
Will.
So, where? Wheatthins.
Wheatthins. Cool whip.
Will Wheaton.
Cool whip. Yeah, say cool.
Will Jay Cutler land somewhere? I think so.
He will. But it's not going to be as quick as you want it to be. We've had this conversation before. Jay Cutler has 3 kids. He's got a family. They're in the Chicago school districts.
Yeah.
They're not going to just pick up and be like,
what's funny is, speaking of retiring quarterbacks, Kyle Orton.
Classic.
When the Bills signed Kyle Orton,
he was not bad.
He wasn't even there. He didn't even make it for the preseason. So he came in and just had to play right away. Mm-hmm. And imagine being Kyle Orton who says, "I'm going to retire and be a dad."
Yeah.
And imagine looking at your wife over the kitchen table for breakfast and saying, "Hey, honey, I know I said I wanted to be a dad, but we're moving to Buffalo."
So I can then retire
So I can make $4 million one last time and then retire again. I remember there was one play where he slid before the first down.
Be mad about
he was
that.
2 yards from the first down, and he slid, and the defensive back was 5 yards away from him. This guy literally just does not care.
No, he doesn't. He's like, what? I play for Buffalo. My life has come to this.
It's funny, Kyle Orton, Jay Cutler.
Here, let's look at some of the other guys. No one's asking about where Colin Kaepernick's going to land. Christian Ponder still is floating about. Bruce Gradkowski.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Uh-huh.
T.J. Yates.
These are not enticing names.
E.J. Manuel.
No, E.J.'s in Oakland.
I know.
Oh, my God. Marshawn will get to go play with E.J. again.
Bringing the band back together.
They didn't actually play together in Buffalo, but...
No.
I wanted to know, because E.J. Manuel is so bad. I talked about the Jacksonville Jaguars loss that we had in London.
You did, yeah. He's the only quarterback to lose in 3 continents or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 3 countries.
3 countries. Yeah.
Same thing.
I want to know what the fans in Oakland are saying about the signing of E.J. Manuel.
That's a good point.
So bad. Anyways.
Well, they've got Derek Carr,
Tony
so
Romo.
we don't need to worry
Danny
about
says
that.
Tony Romo. That's a good point.
Where's Tony Romo going, or what? Aaron wants to know if Cutler's going to go to the Jets. Well, at this point, anybody could go to the Jets. Aaron could go to the Jets.
But aren't they tanking, though? I thought
they're
they were
tanking on purpose so they can get the USC quarterback next year.
At the same time, they brought in Dante Hightower. Why would they didn't sign him, but they brought him in. They were thinking about signing him. Why would you sign somebody who's
send
going to
a
make your team
message
better
to your
if you're
fans
tanking?
that you're not completely trying to hate yourself and hate your life.
Right.
It's a little different. You can't just be like, all right, guys, we just don't care anymore, so we're just going to pretend like we don't care. Oh, we brought in Dante Hightower. Woo! Little news story. The people of the Jets are relevant again.
True.
You have to do little things every once in a while to keep the fans entertained. That's why Ted Thompson will at least sign one free agent that is irrelevant just to keep the Packer fans something to talk about, because that way you never forget about Ted Thompson. You never forget about the Packers. I feel like Ted Thompson is a very quiet, subtle version of LeVar Ball, where he just likes being talked about, but he hates it at the same time.
I tried to not bring up LeVar Ball.
I'm done talking about it, so let's just move on.
Someone came out and said that he's not helping his kids. He's actually hurting his kids.
You're right. That's Steve Kerr that said that.
Yeah, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr.
That's who said it.
NBA coach.
He's hurting his kids, and I think he is.
I completely agree. Why would you want that?
I wouldn't want that polarizing.
If my father's still watching, I would be incredibly mad at you, Father, if you ever were doing this to me.
It's like, my son's the greatest broadcaster of all time.
Okay.
He's a one and done.
Okay, thanks. He's not a one and done. That's the thing. Stop.
No. You know who was a one and done? LeVar Ball, Washington State. 2.2 points per game.
How'd that work out for him?
It didn't.
No, not happening.
But he can
with
beat
that.
MJ.
Apparently, according to Eric, the Giants are going to the Super Bowl ? Because Geno Smith is going to sign with them. I don't understand how that puts them make him a Super Bowl team, because Eli Manning is their starting quarterback.
Eric, you maybe want to throw up.
I don't know where you're going with that one, Eric. Honestly.
Barf. Anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Danny also talking about Tony Romo. I don't know.
Do you have anything? Who are you looking for today?
What do you mean?
Who are you
looking
for the games
Looking
tonight?
for a lot of things.
Jeez.
You can't just be like, who are you looking for?
It's a Friday.
Today?
It's a frothy Friday.
I understand that.
Who
I feel
are
like
you-
we need to
what
be a little
games-
bit more relaxed.
Yeah, you're right.
How sit back.
How does this work?
It's just pull it out of the little thing there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
not rocket science, Tanner.
I've been working out.
I know. I mean, we sit here and we talk and we just.
I got it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Somebody get him a wireless mic. This is ridiculous. So I'm sitting here, you're sitting there, we're talking.
This is weird.
Is it weird?
I don't know.
Do we need to stand? I think we're not. I think the camera's not framed enough for us to stand
You're
and
right.
be like, we're here broadcasting. Like what do you? I mean, this is an
I feel
interesting.
like I'm about to drop a nasty beat.
You can if you need to just like. If you need to go like that, you can. So who am I watching in terms of the sports world? Is that what you're asking me?
Who are you watching tonight?
In terms of
for
basketball.
the NCAA tournament?
Well, I'm going to keep a close eye on Michigan, obviously.
Yes.
Aside from that, folks are making a hullabaloo about Jacksonville State and Louisville,
Yes.
so I'll keep an eye on that game. I think I have Rhode Island to beat Creighton, so I'm going to keep a monitor on that one as well, too.
You just went down a notch in my dad's book.
I'm
That's
okay
okay.
with that. No, I'm sure he's a great man.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Texas
He's
Southern's
got
going to
one
pull
job.
the upset on North Carolina. You heard it here first.
This is true.
It's not actually going to happen, but I felt
Devin
like if I
says-
say you heard it here first, it's going to work.
Devin says, Tanner, you should bust out Goldman for a show.
What does that even mean?
So when I was a freshman at Marquette,
Sure.
I was somewhat famous. 2010 to 2012, I was somewhat famous.
Somewhat famous. How does that even work?
My friend and I bought morph suits, opposite colors, and we coordinated the jerseys with the morph suits.
Okay.
And we went to every game hours early with the suit, like, kind of taken off, so, like, people didn't know who we were.
Okay.
And then once we got our seats, we'd both get up, ask somebody to save our seats, and we'd go put on the suit
Sure.
in the bathroom.
Sure.
And walk back out and sit down.
Okay.
And we'd make a fool of ourselves.
Sounds about right.
Within a couple weeks, we had thousands and thousands of people following us on Facebook, and we were in the news. We were on Fox Sports homepage. We were all over the place.
And how do you feel about that?
The Golden Eagle was our biggest rival, but no, it was great because I had friends that had no idea it was me. So when I told them, they're like, "No, it's not."
Like, shut your mouth.
And I had to prove it to them. So. It was a fun story. I'll bring up some pictures. I have a picture. Actually, it's my profile picture of myself dressed up as Goldman getting an autograph from Jimmy Butler before he was Jimmy Buckets.
The before the buckets were
Yes.
Jimmy.
So, but
I
yeah,
see.
so that was fun. Is it time for my joke?
It's up to you. Aaron asks a good question that I feel
Yes.
like we should address. He says, often overlooked in a world where many kids in the city have no dads around, at least LeVar cares.
Wow.
What's the truth in that? You can't throw that out there because that's like going from 0 to 100 where, hey, I have no dad, you have a super over ridiculously protective dad and like promotes me like I'm going out of style. Like you can't do that. I don't feel like I think that's the scale where you say I'm on the scale of no dad to LeVar Ball's like is my dad. Like where do I fall in terms of, my dad issues?
I would hate to have LeVar Ball as my dad.
I agree.
All my friends would hate
But
him.
is that better though? Is it better to have a LeVar Ball or is it better to have no dad at all? Is it better to love or not have never known the love?
I don't
at
know.
all?
Does he love or is he's just exploiting his
He
kids
wants
for
money.
money?
He was a
all
failure.
about money.
He was an absolute failure in
all
his
about money.
playing career and has to go on shows against whoever, like some dude he like backed down and like dunked on a 6-foot basket just because he wants to remain relevant again. Because everybody's talking about LeVar Ball. He did his job. He hyped his kids up. Now he's the most outlandish man in the entire country next to Donald Trump. And now everybody knows exactly who LeVar Ball is. He did his job. He's
He
relevant.
did.
Congratulations,
We're talking
LeVar
about
Ball.
him. We're talking about
Now
him.
sit down and be quiet because it's not about you. It's about your kids and their future.
Shut up.
Exactly.
Well, think about it this way from a university perspective.
Yes.
Are they going to want to, is any college going to want to sign another Ball?
UCLA already did. They've got all three Ball
All three of
boys
them?
are committed to UCLA.
Oh, my God.
So they brought that upon themselves.
Unbelievable. It's so polarizing. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Aaron wants to know, would we rather have no dad or LeVar?
My dad says, when you guys were little, your mother made me tell this joke using cookies as opposed to shots. That's
Okay.
his one joke.
Okay.
His one joke.
Are we moving to that? Are we just
I
going to
think we should.
completely? Are we going to completely negate the question I just asked?
I think we can. I think you can address it. Do you want to?
No, it's fine. No, we don't have to if you don't want
I don't know.
to.
I don't know how to answer it because I don't want obviously I wanted
That's the thing. Like, would I rather my father or a LeVar Ball, or like that's you can't.
I don't want LeVar.
You can't go with a no dad or LeVar. Like that's not a fair question.
I wouldn't share a drink with LeVar Ball if he offered to buy me one with some of the money he made from his $60
from a Big Baller Brand T-shirt.
Big Baller Brand T-shirt.
If I bought you a Big Baller Brand T-shirt, would you wear it?
No.
Thought you were gonna be like, yes.
I thought about it.
You did for a hot second there. I was like,
yeah, maybe. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
Sell out.
Absolutely not. Ian says no green beer, Tanner. No,
drink your dang beer because everybody's losing their minds on Facebook right now. Hashtag Tanner's beer is getting warm. That's too long of a hashtag, Trevor.
It's every day, though.
I know. It's the same long hashtag. We need to shorten this.
Every day with this garbage.
Jeff says Tanner's beer is warmer than his bracket. Boom.
Yes.
Okay, tell your joke because I know you're just dying to tell your joke.
Here we go. So these two fellas are sitting at the bar, and they're looking at each other, and he says, hey, let me ask you a question. Where are you from? And he says, oh, well, I'm from Ireland. He goes, oh, I'm from Ireland too. Let me buy you a shot and we'll celebrate Ireland together, the great country.
Of course, the motherland.
The motherland. And he says, okay. Well, you're from Ireland. What county are you from? He says, oh, I'm from Kildare County. He goes, I'm from Kildare too. And he goes, why don't I buy you a shot? We'll celebrate Kildare together. And he goes, okay. So they take their shots. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, you're from Ireland. Just as me, and you're from Kildare. Where in Kildare are you from? He said, oh, I'm from Dublin. He goes, oh, no kidding, I'm from Dublin too. Let's buy you a shot and we'll celebrate Dublin together. And he goes, okay. So they take their shot and a phone rings from behind the bar. The bartender answers it and it's the owner. And the owner says, hey, John, anything crazy going on at the bar there today? And he goes, nope, just the O'Shaughnessy twins getting drunk again. I can't do it as good as him.
So how does that work with cookies then? Like, nope, just the O'Shaughnessy's having cookies
tell
again.
the joke at like family reunions and stuff, but you know, you want to be respectable. You don't want the kids thinking like, oh, we're Irish, so we can just take shots and whatever. So we just get cookies.
You're getting about 1 trillion laughy faces from your dad right about now.
That's fun.
That's a good one.
Fun.
We have fun. We have fun.
Yeah.
Hashtag Tanner's beer is still warm.
So, yeah.
And Aaron says, or Tom says, mic drop! And then he says, bottoms up. And then and Aaron says, hashtag hands and face.
Oh my God, so many laughing faces.
What are you drinking today?
A Blue Moon. Okay.
Oh.
I know, it's not Irish.
I thought we had beer that was brought in for us.
We did. I had already opened it, though.
Oh.
It's all right.
Do we have any good beer?
We always have good beer.
What is our beer today?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Fun stuff.
Yeah, so what do you think? What's for lunch?
Yeah.
You want to know what's for lunch?
I think we always want to know what's for lunch.
Excellent. Well, it is St. Patty's Day, so I thought I'd go with something. We don't normally do what's for lunch on Fridays, but I thought today justified it. I am basically half German and half Irish, so I love Reubens.
Basically, or you officially are?
Basically. So I love Reubens, so I'm going to make you a Reuben today.
Okay. I enjoy a good Reuben. Actually, that's a lie. I don't like Reubens.
You don't like Reubens, I know.
I was just about realizing I just lied to you.
Corned beef goes on a Reuben.
And some
Baxter.
hash.
Corned beef
and hash.
goes on a Reuben. So my corned beef today, LeVar Ball for Charles Barkley. Still got some corny beef.
Okay.
Charles Barkley says he will take on the 1v1 against LeVar Ball, though, and I would pay to see that, and I wouldn't even pay to see Mayweather fight Conor McGregor.
It's true.
I would pay to watch LeVar Ball take on Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
And have Michael Jordan do play-by-play. Because that would be so biased. It would be great. Okay, so LeVar Ball is my corned beef for today.
Sure.
You need some sauerkraut.
It's true.
You need some sauerkraut. So Tom Crean, he's probably a little sour getting fired from Indiana, but I like a nice heaping pile of sauerkraut. So I'm going to use the entire Vanderbilt team and fan base towards Matthew Fisher Davis for his ridiculous foul at the end of the Northwestern game. There's my sauerkraut. You got to put some Thousand Island dressing on there.
I guess I love Thousand Island. I haven't had it in a long time, but I love it.
It's not a real Reuben unless there's Thousand Island dressing on there. So here's what I'm going to do. John Ross.
I was like, why? Oh, got it.
He didn't get his island, but he still broke Chris Johnson's record, and at 4.22 deserves 1,000 islands.
I suppose so.
So I'll start a GoFundMe
for 1,000 islands for John Ross. Okay. Jinx, you owe me a beer.
So I have LeVar Ball as my corned beef.
Makes sense.
Sauerkraut is Tom Crean, as well as the entire team and fan base from Vanderbilt towards Matthew Fisher Davis for his ridiculous foul at the end of the Northwestern game. John Ross's 4.22 earned him 1,000 islands, and you need some bread.
Always.
The only thing that really ties a Reuben together is rye bread.
Rye bread, okay.
But you need 2 slices.
I'm not a big rye bread fan, personally.
You need 2 slices.
Okay, slice it up.
Rex and Rob Ryan.
That's the easiest, joke you could put together.
Remember when I started chuckling earlier and I go, oh, this is so much fun.
It's like,
I didn't know if I could ever bring them back into it because I did it for my first What's
you
for
did
Lunch.
Texas toast. I remember that.
Because it's big, thick toast. So for my first What's for Lunch segment, I used Rex and Rob Ryan.
Right.
I just died laughing before the show today because I was like, I can't believe they made their way back into
we made it happen.
Yeah,
we figured it out.
So my rye bread, Rex and Rob Ryan. My corned beef, LeVar Ball. Thousand Island dressing is John Ross's Thousand Islands, and my sauerkraut is the entire Vanderbilt team and fan base towards Matthew Fisher Davis.
I like it. I think everybody wins.
Right there.
That's a sandwich right there. Aaron believes that you need to get some new beef, though, because he's tired of the beef you keep using.
It's so relevant.
I know it is.
So relevant.
I know it is.
I got to use LeVar Ball while he's out there. Somebody else, get me some beef.
Wendy says that you're a terrific chef, apparently.
I am a terrific chef.
And Devin says you need to have a Guinness today.
I didn't think about it, unfortunately. But yes, I will have a Guinness at some point today. I do have to work after this, so I'm trying to
pace yourself.
Stay cool here, yes.
I agree. All right, Burke, final thoughts from you, sir, as we jet out of here for another edition of Halftime.
Marquette plays tonight.
Yeah.
Go Marquette. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wish I brought a Reuben today. So now I'm thirsty for a Reuben.
Hungry? Thirsty?
Thirsty. I like to puree all of my foods, all of my meals.
It's the easiest way to consume nutrients quickly.
Drink them out of a tall bendy straw. So
yummy.
Yes. Did we get everything? I think we hit everything today.
We did. We hit it all. We hit it real good.
We hit it real good.
We smacked her all in the face and said, "Happy St. Patrick's Day, you Irish."
Who are you,
feller?
What game are you going to watch today?
I'm going to watch them all. Well, we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff here in Brew Sports the rest of the day. We're going to be talking about games as they happen, breaking them down, getting the inside scoops, X's and O's, stats, this and everything else. So I'm going to watch them all. Yeah. All the games. I love all the games.
I love all the games.
Everyone loves me.
I just want to know, my bracket is perfect every year. I always have the perfect brackets. You know who has the perfect brackets? Trump Tower. Trump Tower's got the best brackets. The strongest,
best
the bracketist, the basketballist.
I wonder if he did Trump fill a bracket out this year? That was the big thing. Obama always filled a bracket out.
Well, they even brought it up. Like somebody, I got to write these things down.
He did.
Somebody said that apparently Obama did another bracket this year.
Obama,
it's just as relevant as the last 8 years.
Because everybody loves Obama.
Yeah,
that's why.
So.
All right, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Brew Sportsnet, Brew Sports Network. No matter how you look at it, you'll find us. BrewSportsNet.com. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast, show-specific or network-wide, by going to iTunes and Spreaker.com. Some are even on iHeartRadio as well, too. Fun fact.
Yes.
Great stuff. Always a pleasure.
Always.
I'm going to miss you for 2 days.
Until Monday.
Until we meet again.
Can we go out with Danny Boy here? No? Okay.
If you want to sing us off.
No, that's right. Oh, Danny Boy.
Well, he's Tanner Burke. I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time on Halftime.
Go Marquette.